Hello everyone, so we're really excited to welcome to the Switch It Up campaign Sharon MacArthur, or Miss Menopause herself. Sharon is a menopause educator. She educates HR professionals, managers and women in the working environment in a really fun and informative way all around the menopause. So thank you for joining us today, Sharon. It's great to have you on.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm delighted to be here.
Cool. Now, I read earlier on your website that only 3% of organisations in the UK are actually educating their workforce around the menopause. So can you tell us a little bit about why you're so passionate about this and how you got into it, please?
Yeah, well, through my own lived experience, really. I'm not a medical person and I don't pretend or profess to be, but because my menopause began, I'm 53 now. I know I can hardly believe it myself, but I'm 53 now. And my menopause began when I was 47, nearly 48. And I literally had no idea that was what was happening to my mind and my body was menopause related, because nobody had ever told me. So to cut a long story short, there was a couple of key events, which if people come along to the event, I'll be able to tell them about. Took a couple of catalysts really that led me to think, how and why are nobody really talking about the menopause, especially when mental health, well-being, diversity, equality, inclusion's being talked about an awful lot these days. So when I set up nearly 4 years ago, people thought I was kind of a bit crazy. And I did have a couple of people say, why on earth do you want to talk about menopause in the workplace? Now, what I'm going to tell you is it's because it affects 100% of reproducing females, whether you like it or not. So for me, that's an utterly shocking statistic, where you don't really find that in other, well-being topics. So, and the upshot of it is because of ignorance, women are leaving. So women have already left organizations, because I've met many of them. I've met a lot of them, and will continue to leave because nobody's given us what I'm calling the girls' chat. So what I say I do as Miss Menopause, I'm providing the corporate girls' chat, but for everybody. So I don't want anyone to think that what we're going to talk about is just aimed at this horrible phrase of women of a certain age. We need to banish that phrase. So menopause for me is about educating everybody about menopause in the workplace, because it might be affecting me mentally and physically as a reproducing female, but anybody in my orbit, whether they are a colleague, a friend, family member, could be impacted by the menopause. So you're never too young to learn about the menopause, and everybody, and that means you men as well out there, need to understand about what this is all about, because it's a life event that's going to impact 100% of reproducing females.
Yeah, and that's a crazy statistic, like you say. So, we're really delighted that you're going to join us as part of the Switch It Up event in October. So can you just give us a little bit of an overview of what kind of things you'll cover, please?
Well, I'm going to keep it a bit of a secret, but my style is it's an interactive quiz, which is aimed at anyone who's involved from an HR professional point of view, anybody's involved in D&I initiatives, because menopause in the workplace really cuts across all of those things. So by the end of it, you should have had fun, learned a lot, and have an idea of what your next step might be. And also, if you come along, watch out, there might be some free giveaways as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, really, really, really over the moon to have you on board. Can't wait for the event, and I'm looking forward to your little surprise myself. Thanks,
Brilliant.
Sharon.
Thank you.
Cheers.